welcome everybody to our New Deal Europe webinar, the first in a long time, and apologies for our radio silence. We've been really busy this summer making some partnerships that we want to share with you. This is the first of a couple of webinars we're sharing with you. We're presenting some of the partnerships that we think will benefit everybody in the Balkans and will definitely enhance the reputation of the destination and will bring new business for sure to the region. And we're really pleased to have with us today Carlos Sendra from Mabrian Technologies. He'll be talking with Tina very shortly. And later on, we'll be joined by Kenny Smith of Online Travel Training. You can see their logos there at the bottom corner. They'll be explaining the benefits of the training program for travel agents, and we think you should be part of it. And we'll show you what New Deal Europe has done so far with that partnership. First, and I know we've got some journalists joining us today, we thought it would be a good idea to run through with you really what New Deal Europe is all about, because we're very conscious of the fact that most of you know us really only from our events that we've organized, the New Deal Europe Marketplace and Forum in 2020 and 2021. We're successful, and thank you so much for all of your support. We're a lot more than just the events, and the partnerships that we're bringing to the table today exemplify some of the other activities that we do. So if we call this the New Deal Europe Circular Economy Model, it will all become clear why we call it that at the end of the presentation, I hope. But when more than just this event that you're all very familiar with, our main purpose is really bringing all the decision makers to the table, people who've got potential to deliver tourism to the 12 countries of the New Deal Europe region. We are still the only travel market platform dedicated to generating business to this growing destination, and we're really very excited about that. But I think the reason why we started is very crucial to understanding our motivations. So both of us, Tina and I, were based in the UK, and we could see that there were many travel trade events happening, focusing on different countries. Some countries had their own travel trade marketplace. Many of them, of course, had their own tourism board. But in the Balkan region, and we were really focused just exclusively on the Balkan region at the time, not all countries did have a representation office. Only 3, in fact: Croatia, Slovenia, and Greece. Many countries had no tourism office even in their own country, and it was really difficult to get information out to the buyers who wanted to come to the region. And of course, it's great that there's a Slovenian and a Croatian and a Greek tourism office, but people travel throughout the region to many different countries, and we needed really to have some kind of joined up marketing across the region if it was going to be presented properly. And that just didn't exist, and it was quite difficult to get the ground, because not all countries had an office in London, not all of them have a ministry devoted to tourism, and finding out who the key players were was quite a challenge. But we did it, and we set up this kind of supranational organization that we called New Deal Europe, primarily to drive tourism business to the region. Sustainability is a key focus for us and a real driver of tourism in your region, and that's something we particularly wanted to promote when we were organizing New Deal Europe from the outset, and that's carried on throughout everything that we've done, and you'll see that as well in some of the presentations that we do today. So why us? Well, Tina was the head of the Slovenian Tourism Board in the UK for 6 years, so he has particular experience of delivering tourism from the region to the travel trade in the UK, and I had 30 years or more travel trade experience, including stints as the director of purchasing for the largest tour operator in Europe at the time, Gulliver's GTA, 20 years as a sales director at Radisson, and 23 years on the board of the European Tourism Association. So I have an extensive network of tour operators, travel agents, airlines, hotels, tourist boards, you name it. We've covered everything. And both of us at the time had our own consultancies, basically doing many of the things that New Deal Europe are doing, but doing it independently. So we thought we had the skill set, the knowledge, the experience, and actually the passion for the region, which was really important to deliver this project of a supranational organization bringing tourism to the region. Now, in addition to the event, which you can see there at the bottom, there are other elements to what we do. based primarily on our experience. So the first thing, obviously, is representation. Tina's represented tourism boards. I've represented hotels, DMCs, and other attractions. We also offer consultation, supporting business development, really, again, bringing that focus on sustainability to the fore. We do media, news stories. We write a weekly blog. We do travel PR. We do many seminars and training courses and keynote speaking things, as well as the events. And I'll go into a little bit of detail on each of those right now. So the first one, you can see us both here doing our representation. Obviously, that involves sales calls and direct follow-ups with the tour operators and the travel agencies that we're contacting. We go to many travel trade events. I think we worked out between us in 2019, we did about 60 trips, hosted events, and we're both members of leading travel trade associations. I've already mentioned the European Tourism Association to you. And you can see us both at work. Tina at an event in the USA, networking with the travel agents, and I'm at the bottom there talking to the Irish travel trade at their annual travel trade fair. Consultation is something we do a lot, constantly. Again, the sustainability element is key to what we do in terms of positioning the product with regards to sustainable tourism. That's very important to us. But equally important is identifying how to get your message across. And we'll cover that a lot today with both Mabrian and OTT. Choosing the right channels, how to get your story out to the customer, how to deal with the different markets and the different nuances of each market. We've been doing this for many years, so we're able to help you to get your message out in the right way and ensuring that there's a very smooth customer journey from looking at your product to booking your product. In terms of media, you can see us here at World Travel Market. We did many TV interviews, actually. This one is with Hellenic TV, but we also do a weekly blog. Some of you have been guests on it. I can see Antonia there at the bottom of my screen from Stories. Hi, Antonia. You were one of our weekly blog interviewees. We interview people in the market about what's happening, not just COVID related, but basically what your plans are for developing your product and getting it out to the market, who you're working with, but also with the market itself. So we've interviewed key source market individuals from the UK, from Ireland, from as far afield as Japan and Korea and the USA. New Zealand was one that we also did very recently, so that you're also getting updates about how people are thinking in the marketplaces that you're trying to hit up. We do lots of PR and consultation. Social media, we're very active on, and please, if you're not doing it already, please follow us on LinkedIn, because that's where we post all of our stories, our weekly updates, our blogs, and you probably have already connected to us today, maybe through the LinkedIn post that we did about this webinar. Education is really important to us. You can see Tina here at work at the Travel and Adventure Show, looking very hipster, as though he's just come off one of the mountains in Slovenia, because he's talking there about the new route that was opened up, the Juliana Trail, presenting that at the Travel and Adventure Show in the USA. And that's me at the bottom at the Nighttime Conference in North Macedonia, where I was a guest speaker. We do all those kinds of things, as well as webinars like we're doing today. We do training programs. You saw one of the earlier images, me doing one of the training programs. We did some training for the guys down in the West Balkans prior to our previous travel trade event, our previous marketplace, so that people knew how to manage their 50-minute appointments really well. But there's a whole host of things that we cover. But again, our key focus is driving business to the Balkans in the most sustainable and responsible way that we can. And finally, of course, our event that you all know about, the Marketplace and Forum. We've done two so far. Both of them have been virtual. We're really excited that at the end of today, we'll be announcing our first live New Deal Europe for 2022. We've covered the entire globe because of the virtual nature of the last two events. It's given us the opportunity not to make them just focused on a particular market, but to open up the Balkans to the entire world. And we had people coming from New Zealand, from Australia in the south, right across to California in the west coast of USA, and every country in between. We're proud to say we had, at the last event, 250 buyers coming from 38 countries, covering every type of tour operation, and all of them having one thing in common: they all wanted to book the Balkans. So as a result of that, and 148 suppliers coming, we got really good feedback from everybody. It's not just about the marketplace and the connections, it's also about representing what we do as New Deal Europe, all the other facets that we bring to the table. And we present that in the seminars and the breakout sessions that we cover on the day too. And here you can see, I think many of you were at it, so I don't think I need to go into this, but you may not be fully aware of all of the feedback that we've had from the events. It's been very consistent, and averaging out over the 2 events, we can say that 95% of the buyers who came were deemed to be of high or very high quality by the suppliers themselves. And 96% of people who came to our marketplace said they wanted to come to the next one. And these are phenomenally high statistics. Now, I've worked in events for best part of 30 years, and I've never seen satisfaction ratings this high. And I think it's because we know who to contact. We target the people for you. We do all the work for you. We bring the people to the table, and essentially all you need to do is choose who you want to meet with. And you know that these people have business to the region, and they're planning to bring programs to the region, new programs, many of them, and definitely have business and potential for you. And I think that's why our event has been so successful, and it grew by 300% in just 6 months. And we're really excited to have the live one coming up, which we'll tell you about later. Here's some of the feedback from people. We asked people if they would give us a few quotations to put on our website, and we were overwhelmed. So we've just picked a few of them out for you. And you can see here, Julia from Spirit Journeys, who focuses on wellness, yoga tourism, wanting to develop the region further over the next few years. And Graham from Travel Pack saying what a great event he had. And he's looking forward to building up a strong portfolio of Balkan products. And that really is joy to us, because that's why we started New Deal Europe in the first place. But also from you guys in the region, Zorica from Visit Serbia, we've exceeded her expectations. The meetings were great, and thanks to our partners at Jacobs Media for making everything run so smoothly. Alexander from Simonium Travel in North Macedonia said it was the best day he'd had in the entire year, and that again fills me with joy. And it's typical of the type of comments that were coming back from you guys, and we're really pleased that you got so much out of it. We know that the times are difficult. I think we're all counting our blessings that we're all still here, and that we've all come through COVID. We know that businesses are cash strapped, that the revenue streams have been down, that the markets have changed enormously, that the people that we're dealing with, the buyers and the tour operators, have faced many problems themselves with not getting bookings and having people on furlough. And we're working with everybody to try and navigate through all these difficulties and still bring business to you and deliver on our promises to you. Now, very quickly, looking at the opportunities that we have through partnerships, we know that people want to work with us because they see real potential in the region. And we know that the region also wants to develop tourism and develop it sustainably. Tina has been instrumental in drawing up many of the tourism programs, looking at development for the future in Slovenia. It's assisted in Albania, in many regions. So we know that there's a real desire to develop tourism in the region because it's a source of income, and inbound tourism counts as an export on the balance of payments of every country. So there's a real desire to develop that. And we want to be part of that, and we want to ensure that you get connected to the people who can bring you the business. It's all very well, we know, developing great products and getting funding from all of the different institutions to support your business. But if you're not able to take that out to the marketplace and sell it, then what's the point? And that's where we come in. We make those connections for you. We've made partnerships to help you develop your business and present it. And that's what we'll be showing you later on today, and in our next webinar in a few weeks' time. But again, remember, by connecting everybody and doing this sustainably, we can really make sure that the tourism product in the region grows and fulfills its potential in the right way. And this is why we look for a circular economy model. We support you guys in the local region. We support local tourism businesses. We speak, as I mentioned right at the beginning here, at national level with the public bodies, with private sector partners who are investing in you. We connect you all across the region, and we bring the global partners to the table for you. And they, of course, bring the business directly to the local support, to the local suppliers. So that's our circular economy model. We're so glad that so many of you are here today to hear that and understand our focus and our drive. And with that in mind, I'll pass you over to Tine to introduce the first partnership that we want to present to you today. Thank you very much.
Now we are moving on with our program for today. And as you said before, we have two guests today with us. First, we will speak with Carlos. Carlos Sendra is a sales and marketing director of Mabrian. They say Mabrian, yeah, Technology. And why do we think it's important to have a technology partner with us? It's obvious if you just look how the things are progressing in any industry, in tourism as well, not just after COVID, but even before COVID. But thank you for joining us, and thank you for bringing your expertise and your knowledge to the group of the Balkan suppliers and Balkan specialists. As you know, New Deal Europe, we are focusing of this part of the world, but in many cases, it's very similar to the project we are working already, or you work in our region already anyway. So maybe just to start, like, can you tell us in a few sentences who is what are you doing? Who are you, like, as a group, as a company, and why is your field so important?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation of being here and for the attendees. Mabrian is basically a technological company, and we are specialized on transforming data, as known like big data, into information, right? So we are right in the middle between data providers and sources and indicators, right? We build indicators for the travel and tourism sector, basically for tourism boards or public tourism offices, right? But the key is not about the data; it's about how we can provide information from that data, right? That's where we are specialized. We started in 2015 working specifically for the tourism and travel sector, and so we have a team pretty experienced on tourism management and promotion, right? On top of all the technology we have and we have beneath, and all the data that we can aggregate. Basically, it's a matter of having contextual information, right? What we provide is reducing the uncertainty to our clients in order to make better decisions, more efficient decisions, by knowing what's going on, right? What are the actual dynamics, the current dynamics in the sector, by observing from different prisms, different points of view, the reality of the travel and tourism sector, using several types of data that we will see an example.
And who would you say are your main clients? Who are the people who look for the data, for the information, for your services?
Our services are built specifically for travel organizations, public travel organizations, so tourism boards, national tourism boards, but also smaller tourism boards, tourism offices as well. So from country size, a ministry, to a small location, seasonal location in the Mediterranean, right? We have both sides, and all which is included in the middle regions, etc. We also work for the private sector. Let's say 80% public sector, 20% private sector, mostly for hotel chains and travel agencies, and also some kind of airlines as well.
Okay, I mean, probably people who are just listening now thinks, okay, this sounds also great, but it sounds like watching Matrix movie, or I don't know, Burns, or I don't know, following all the conspiracy theories of all the things that happened lately. So what's really for somebody like for smaller tourism boards, and then what's for the big player? What would you say? What can you do for these guys?
Yeah, I think the main thing is for both, we can provide the same, which is reducing the uncertainty. So basically providing contextual information from a global perspective, right? Probably a biggest tourism office would need would have different or more global objective or goals, like the branding of the country, like the perception of the country, security perception, satisfaction levels, etc., etc. And probably a smaller destination will have more operative goals, like for example identifying the most interesting targets for a season, measuring the result of the campaigns by analyzing the actual demand, not only by the online tracking indicators, but also demand indicators that we can track, giving the for example the managers of the destination information in order to better negotiate with airlines with a global approach, as I mentioned. So it's like two different ways of using all that information in a more strategical way, but also in an operative and tactical way.
So all we need now from you is to see in the real in what's actually happening. Can you maybe give us an example? Do you have something in our region maybe?
Yeah, we are already working on the region, so I can make a live example using the platform with data from Montenegro. If you feel like that would be a really easy example and really straightforward. I don't want to take you so much time, but I think it's worth that the attendees take a look on how we represent all that indicators and information on top of a platform. They won't be scared about having all that information, since if it's something that we are expert on, it's in providing clear indicators and really specific indicators for destination management, right? I'm going to show you through our travel intelligence platform how we can use the contextual information, update information, in order to identify specific targets for a destination, right? I'm going to use this specifically data of Montenegro to identify what could be interesting target for the next 3 months in order to increase visitings, right? And I will focus specifically in Europe, right? What origin markets in Europe could be an opportunity, could mean an opportunity for Montenegro for the next 3 months, right? Okay, as you see, we have different types of information that we can consult through the platform, right? But I will start with the spend information. That's how the visitors are spending during their stay in Montenegro, right? And from the last update we have, we'll see the list of the countries, but I'm interested on this graph, which is the identification of the visitors who spend the most during their stay by individuals, not only by the market, since if we pay attention to the market, Russian market is the most important in terms of incomings, right? Followed by the US, but by individuals, by a visitor. And regarding to Europe, we'll say that Italy and Germany, right? And then Netherlands, are Turkey as well, are the origin markets that are more interesting in terms of spending, right? We could even go through the type of spend they do during their stay, right? But right now we're gonna check those two origin markets, Italy and Germany, right? So first of all, we're gonna check if there is facility to get to Montenegro from those countries, right? And to do that, we're gonna check the air connectivity in between those origin markets to the destination, okay? And for the next 3 months, comparing to 2 years ago, right? We could compare it to 1 year ago, but it's worth going 1 year earlier, since we're gonna compare with an, let's say, normal year, okay? Okay, we apply. And what we see in general, Montenegro is growing 4% in number of inbound seats, right? This is a summary of the type of connectivity, but going directly to the origin markets, we see how Italy as a source market is dropping almost 60% comparing to 2 years ago. So it's going down dramatically. But in the case of Germany, is increasing. It's coming up at 3%. So it's even the connectivity between Germany and Montenegro is even higher than it used to be 2 years ago. That's a good news, right? So let's check Germany as a possible target. We're gonna go through the specific information from Germany to Montenegro, right? 2 main airports in Montenegro. This is the situation, right? 20,000.3 seats, inbound seats from Germany to Montenegro. That's a 3% increase. If you see the flights are increasing 22%, that means that the planes that are gonna be flying in between those countries are gonna be much smaller. Since an increase of a 21%, 22% of flights, it's only a 3% of seats, right? So clearly increasing. The increase is gonna be focused on February, 20% higher than 2 years ago, right? You see here the graph. Then it's gonna be interesting to check where exactly we're gonna have connectivity in Germany for Montenegro, right? If we disconnect previous year, we see how the connectivity is gonna be from Frankfurt, Memmingen, which is close to Munich, Dortmund, Leipzig, Hanover, and Düsseldorf. That would be the 6 airports that will have connectivity with Montenegro, right? And comparing to the previous period, you'll see how Berlin used to have connectivity, but don't have connectivity for these next 3 months so far, right? This is updated to the 23rd of November, so it could change, but right now, the picture we have is that from Berlin, it's gonna be a lack of direct connectivity to Montenegro, right? That's regarding the let's say the connection points, the routes, and if we want to check the airlines, we can see as well what are the airlines that it's going to be bidding for this destination to connect Germany with Montenegro, right? The first and the most important and also increasing comparing to the previous period is Wizz Air Hungary, followed by Montenegro Airlines and FlexFlight, which is a new company connecting both points, Germany and Montenegro. FlexFlight wasn't flying 2 years ago, so it's new. And in the other hand, we've got Ryanair and Laudamotion that are losing all their connectivity. So they used to fly 2 years ago in between Germany and Montenegro, but they are not planning to do so during the next 3 months, right? Same with Eurowings, a few seats as well. Okay, so far we know that Germans are the second European market spending the most in Montenegro. We know that they will have a better accessibility to Montenegro by air since the seats are increasing. We know that connectivity is going to be focused on Frankfurt, Munich, Dortmund, and yeah, basically those 3, and then also something in Leipzig, Hanover, and Düsseldorf, right? So let's check now if the access facility for the Germans in terms of flight prices is also good, right? And we can check that by monitoring the flight prices. This is the average flight prices to connect from Germany to Montenegro, right? Let's check. Let's select a couple of countries to compare. For example, okay. And here we're gonna see the evolution of the flight prices to get to Montenegro, right? This is the weekly evolution comparing Germany, Austria, Poland, and Italy, right? easily we can see how Austria is the most expensive country to get to Montenegro during this period, right? The next 3 months. And comparing Germany and Poland, well, Italy would be the second more expensive. And it's that clear that Germany is going to be the cheapest of those 4 origin markets in order to get a flight to Montenegro, right? That's the average weekly price. We could check it more detailed on here. Oh, sorry. On here, right? So the average price is 45 euros and dropping 41% comparing to 2 years ago. That's a good news in order to get Germans getting into Montenegro. So there is connectivity, there is good prices. Germans spend really well at the destination. That looks like interesting target, right? So let's check now if the Germans are actually looking for flights to get to Montenegro, right? If they have an inspirational interest to get to Montenegro, which is something different than having connectivity. On one hand, we have what the airlines are doing, and in the other hand, we have here what the users are doing in a spontaneous way, right? So let's check, for example, the evolution of the flight searches during the last month, right? The last updated we have is 22nd of November, and let's select here 1 month, all right, and traveling for the next travel period for the next 3 months. Okay, let's select Germany, and what we see here. Okay, at the first side, in this graph below, we see the daily evolution of the flight searches, right? The total amount of searches, the absolute searches, it's still far from the absolute values we saw 2 years ago, right? This is something that wouldn't surprise us since the situation has changed a lot. So far, the searches are growing, but not yet at the level of 2 years ago. Okay, that's in one side. But in another side, what we do is calculating an indicator to measure the strength of the demand from Germany to Montenegro. And how we do that? We take an index of how many searches out of every million of the Germans are for Montenegro. And we consider the whole universe of searches that the Germans are doing to any destination in the world, right? So that's the share of searches that Montenegro supposed for the Germans during the period we selected, right? So it says that during this period, 9.3 searches out of every million of flight searches were for Montenegro. Meanwhile, the previous period, 2 years ago, that was only 4, right? That means the strength or the potential of the demand of the Germans to Montenegro during this period is more than doubling. That's pretty interesting. And we can see the evolution by days. You see how clearly this current period is surpassing the previous period, right? So there is a good demand and increasing demand for Montenegro, right? Also important the length of stay, so they want to stay more, it's increasing, and a little change on the anticipation of that search, right? 49 days, increasing 3%. But the most important things are the share of searches and the length of stay. And we can also check where is exactly this demand coming from, right, in Germany. So the main hotspot of demand would be Frankfurt, followed by Berlin, Dortmund, Stuttgart, Düsseldorf, Memmingen, and Munich, right? That would be, let's say, the top 7. So basically, we see a match in between the source of the searches, the point of the demand, and the connectivity. in all the main airports but Berlin, right? In this case, we see demand, but there is no air connectivity. So here we see an opportunity to talk with companies for the destination in order to get that demand covered by air connectivity, right? It's not the case of Frankfurt, Dortmund, Stuttgart, or Düsseldorf, who have direct connectivity. Okay, so far we have checked that Germans spend really well. They can come, they want to come, and now we can check what we could tell them in order to convince them to visit Montenegro. And to do that, we're going to check what are their interests when visiting Montenegro, right? And we do that by monitoring their spontaneous behavior in social networks, analyzing what do they speak about, what are their sentiment, okay? So regarding this last year, we can check and compare different countries. In this case, we're comparing UK, France, Italy, and Germany. You see how, for example, Germans are the second most satisfied with the global experience in Montenegro, just below the UK visitors, right? In terms of security, all of them are showing high scores. The rest of the indicators are well, okay? But that could pay our interest now is the interest that the Germans show when visiting Montenegro, right? So let's disconnect the competitors, the other sources, and the main interest, first of all, sunbathing, regarding taking into account that we are taking a whole year, so the summertime is included. We could just select less a shorter period in order to avoid the interest for sunbathing, probably. But the rest of the interests are interesting, which are nature, culture, and active lifestyle, right? That's in general, not that much in food and cuisine, in gastronomy, and not that much in shopping, nightlife, and family activities. You see this NA sign means that there is not enough information about those tourist products in order to show an indicator for the German market, right? So we can go even deeper and see what are the specific sub products that they are interested in, or even the specific attractions they are interested in, right? You see, Kotor Old City and the Adria Track would be two of the most interesting attractions for the Germans when visiting Montenegro. Okay, so I know it's a pretty fast and straightforward example, but I think it can make clear in an easy way how we could use all that information in order to get great insights to identify that targets and push and thinking on investing on promotion on that specific points in Germany in order to get that visitors visiting Montenegro. Thank you very much. If you need more information, don't hesitate to contact with Tine or Robert at the New Deal Europe team, who are our partners for our business development in the Balkans, right? Thank you very much.
So they can really collect the metadata, so from everywhere, from sort of like what were the connections with the destination, who is searching for something, how many, for example, seats were booked here. And this is all done by just collecting what's basically available through the social media, through the online search engines, through the online platforms. For all the data, they are somehow accessible and available to all of us.
I think the key thing with these guys, as well, if I may say, is obviously you can see here about flight capacity and all those kind of things. That kind of data is accessible from many different sources, and you may already have that kind of information. Well, these guys do, which from what I've seen out in the market is unique, is they analyze behavior and intention. So they can tell you why people are looking at, in this case, Montenegro. What are they looking for when they come to Montenegro? What are they searching for? Seaside, beaches, hotels. mountains activity? What are their interests? What do they say about it on the social media? And all of that is analyzed. So you can really understand what motivates people when they're looking for a holiday in Montenegro or a trip to Montenegro. And you can then target your marketing very specifically so that you're not throwing money at different projects and hoping that some of it lands in the right place. Here, you know exactly what people are looking for, and you can drive your revenue into and your marketing into attacking those behaviors. And that's really important in terms of moving forward as a destination, because you understand then what people are looking for on the social media platforms. And we're really excited that we can bring that kind of analysis and intelligence to the table through Mabrian. And that's really what we wanted to show you. Kenny is from Online Travel Training. He's our key contact there, and he's going to explain what OTT does, how it can benefit you, how it looks.
Yes,
we have
hi.
We've had presented OTT in the past with an interview with your managing director, Julia, but nobody actually saw what OTT looked like or feels like.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you very much for having me. Firstly, Tine and Robert, it's great to meet you all. And I wanted to go through with you today in terms of what we've actually decided and the partnership that we've done and what OTT is. So online travel training is obviously, we are the leading global educational communications platform. So operating in 7 different countries in 17 different languages. So we main focus on obviously our largest audience within the UK. So we have over 120,000 registered travel professionals on online travel training platform, which we can put your brands in front of. So which obviously after the past 18 months in the pandemic, so a huge amount of travel agents now and front selling agents and decision makers are now working from home. They're remote working. So we have direct contact with them and the engagement levels are very, very high. So Robert, Tine and myself met during the pandemic, so virtually, to discuss the partnership to bring New Deal Europe, the Academy, to life. So you'll see on my screen here the New Deal Europe Academy, and Robert will share with you the link in there. And what this does, it highlights the partners of New Deal Europe and gives you the ability to educate and train and speak to those front selling travel agents within the UK and Ireland. So you'll see there's many courses on there, including Bosnia and Herzegovina, New Deal Europe, Zagreb, Aegean Airlines, and that are already on OTT. But you have got the ability to have your very own course on there. So for a free time period until March 2022. So what is a course? So in terms of the educational platform, and what we've included as part of our offering to you is an educational taster 1 module course to drive agent engagement and sales for all New Deal Europe members. So you will have the ability to have a sub URL for your 1 module course to go through and highlight and bring to life your brand. So whether that you're a destination, an attraction, and a hotelier, if you want to get in front of travel agents, then I urge you to take up this offer that we have obviously partnered with New Deal Europe to do. And why do we do what we do? So OTT effectively is with the most cost-effective solution to reach out to a wide portion of the trade community and ultimately raise product and brand awareness. And we exist wholly for the travel industry. So, what we do is enable travel suppliers to connect and engage with travel experts all around the world. So we have a global network of travel suppliers and travel experts, and they're all connected through OTT. which essentially is a virtual trade management tool. So, and it's an environment where travel and tourism experts can continually learn in an engaging, rewarding community. And the two sides of the industry are connected through obviously knowledge and insight, as everyone is aware. I'm not going to teach people to suck eggs, but the knowledge and insight really does create kind of like inspirational leading knowledge bank really for travel professionals. So we're now at a point in life where people are taking control of their own training. A lot of people are working now, as we say, from home for themselves. So all of our training is delivered virtually and remotely, which obviously drives efficiency, productivity worldwide. And we fall into three. Our company ethos is learn, inspire, connect. So we have our learn part, which is where your course's content is designed and it's built out to engage, inform and teach travel experts around the world and all of the possibilities that you offer. So as I say, whether that's a destination, focusing on your USPs and your main marketing campaign, it might be a smaller attraction which might not have the ability or the budget to promote out or get themselves in front, directly in front of those key decision makers. But we guide and assist you on building all of your content. So and New Deal Europe will support you with that. So that's the whole learn part. Then we have our inspire part, which is where our OTT marketing tools enable partners to drive engagement and interaction to your targeted travel experts. So New Deal Europe will be able to target specific selling agents within the UK. So whether that's specific travel agents, tour operators, specific selling agents. So it might be an individual brand that is focusing on the Balkans, or people that have completed the Bosnia course or Aegean course, or courses already focused. So New Deal Europe will be able to do that. So and then we have our full connect part, which is where we put New Deal Europe right in front of all of those agents. So anyone that has completed your course, you will be able to connect with. So, and that's through our built-in mailing system, AutoMail. So it's a multi-million-pound platform which allows you to continuously connect and drive re-engagement with all of those agents that have completed all of the courses. So whether that's a newsletter, New Deal Europe newsletter that's going out every Friday, featuring new partners, providing regular updates, bite-sized content, or any industry news. So we're there to fully support that. The great thing about that, obviously continuing on from there, is that you are able to fully re-engage and keep all of the agents up to date with all of your key messages. So if you have a special deal or a room rate, for example, if you're an accommodation provider, or you have a new tour that is going and you need to tell the travel trade, you can do that, and that is included as well. So, and on the back of that, obviously reporting insights is a huge part of today's world and return of investment. So we give access to New Deal Europe to be able to see all of those people that have completed the courses. So our platform is so data rich that it allows you to track who has been taking your courses, course completion rates, pass rates, engagement activity, and overall visibility of that agent. So we are currently working on a huge project called Agent Portfolios, which is where agents are actually going to be upskilling and telling OTT all about what they're selling, where they're going, what fam trips they've been on. So I'll be able to share more information on that next year. Into the new year, into 2022. It's a really exciting addition to what OTT offer. So, but as we know, information insight is paramount, and you will get full visibility. We help structure the reporting. So an account manager who is Pretty, who works very closely with Robert and Tine, they will go through and give the right amount of information that's relevant to your business. So any guided missions for you to allow to increase your reach. So whether that's working collaboratively, as I say, with airlines or destinations to bounce off of each other. So for you to grow your course and your engagement level of agents that you can actually talk to. But ultimately, New Deal Europe is talking to the travel trade in the UK on your behalf. But you have the ability to have a free course to go through that. So I will just show you exactly what a course looks like, because obviously I'm just going to go on here. Sorry, just share my screen. Why will it now not let me share my screen? Okay. So you will see the New Deal Europe course here. So OTT is a fully mobile responsive platform. So you'll see it's a fully branded page, which has the ability to have top tabs here, which can hold marketing materials, marketing collateral, contact us information. It can be a link through to your distribution channel. So whether you work with tour operators within the UK, whether you are a tour operator, or whether you want to push the traffic directly, you can put the information into there. So all courses will be fully branded, as I said. So within the New Deal Europe here, that would be your individual logo. And then within the lessons, so you'll see each lesson can contain up to 15 pages of content. So you'll see lesson 1 here within New Deal Europe. Just wait for this to load. So you'll see there's a few more pages than 15 on here. There's 18. But what is New Deal Europe? So this can include videos, images, Vimeos, content. So an agent will work through exactly here. So all the way through, let's say you can include various videos and various things here, and then an agent will be then asked to complete some questions. So you can have up to 15 pages of content, as we say, within an introduction module. So that may be 10 pages of content and 5 questions, or 14 pages of content with 1 question to test the agent's learning and that travel professional's learning at the end of the course. So an agent will then complete the module, and they will be then given a certificate which would be branded, dual branded alongside New Deal Europe, that they're a New Deal Europe specialist and your specific brand. So I'll show you an actual destination course as well, of a partner course. I'm just going to see if I can close this. So if we just go through to, so Zagreb is actually a full client on OTT already, so they've automatically sat in the New Deal Europe Academy. So if you are already a partner with OTT, so you will automatically sit within the New Deal Europe free of charge. Until obviously your contract expires. But you've got Zagreb here. So you see they've got a 3-module course, which is Welcome to Zagreb, The Bust of Zagreb, and More to Explore. So, and various different top tabs here. So you've got Culture and Arts, Contact Us for More Information, and COVID-19. So you've got Welcome to Croatia, Welcome to Zagreb, the capital of Croatia. So, and as I say, they break down their lessons into 3 different lessons there. So, and they've got various information there. So it really is very, very easy in terms of course content. So you think, oh my God, it's going to take me ages. But there's a document that Robert and Tina will send you, and you will have the majority of the information and what you want to fill in, obviously, to your course. So it's something I do highly recommend you have, especially within the UK, and the engagement that we're seeing within with course passes, and people actually can going on and engaging with travel brands, that you need to be at the forefront of their minds. So it's something that Tina and Robert and myself, Angelica, OTT and Pretty have worked on very hard to help you guys get in front of the UK travel trade.
Kenny, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. And thanks for showing those pages. I hope it makes it clear to everybody
Absolutely
what it actually looks like and what the travel agent experience will be when they go onto the pages to look at the product that people can put up there. It's important to mention that everybody, just while I know you need to dash, but if you've just got 1 more minute.
Yeah. No, has anyone got any questions? Or
everybody can have a free trial with
Yes.
with you through New Deal Europe. We will help you to build the program, and the pages that you saw for New Deal Europe, Tina and I have built those ourselves, so we know exactly how to do it and what needs to be done, so we can help you with all of that. And the free trial will last until the 1st of April 2022. So the sooner you get onto the platform, the longer exposure you can have on there. And we will assist you to put all that detail up there. As Kenny says, it's really very simple. We can send you the document asking you for the information. Essentially, you just need to have content, text content, good visuals, and a quiz. That's the nuts and bolts of it, isn't it, really, Kenny?
It is, yes. Yeah, definitely. So it's, people seem to, that's why I think I kind of break it down at the end sometimes, because people think, oh my God, I've got to find all of this content. But you've already got it. You've got it in your marketing materials. You've got it in your leaflets and your pamphlets. You've probably got all of the information on your intranet or your customer facing internet. So there's information that we can make specific to the trade by changing a few keywords.
And we, when we put our program up there, our New Deal Europe Academy, we did get emails from agents saying it's really good, it's very educational, but they want more. So people are looking for product in our region. They want to know about it. It's a growing destination. People are booking it, but they need to know more. And this is where you come in, and where you have a platform and an opportunity now to connect with those people making those decisions and making those bookings.
That's
and
it.
send people out to you.
And there's not a lot of brands out there, the guys, that are giving you a free course to help and educate the trade. So and get in front of the trade. So I really do highly say that you take up our offer on this, to actually be able to have a platform to get in front of the OTT audience.
We are very happy to move to our last part of the event today, which is the announcement of New Deal Europe Marketplace and Forum 2022. While I'm sharing my screen, Robert, you can tell about what's going to be the difference this year in terms of virtual and live event.
Because we've got two. We've got a live event. Our first live event will happen in London on the 4th of April. We're just finalizing the venue details, which we hope to have finished within the week. Might take a little bit longer. So we can't announce the exact venue yet, although we've got a couple of places in mind, but it will be in London, that's for sure. And it will be on the 4th of April, and it will be live. So you'll be able to meet face to face with people. Finally, after 2 years, we can do a live event. Because of the success of the virtual events that we've been holding over the last 2 years, we also want to do a virtual global event. The London event, we will invite everybody to, but my guess is it will be primarily the operators based in the UK or local markets, or the wholesalers who bring the inbound business to Europe, who will be attending that event. And the virtual event is open to everybody globally, including those who couldn't make it to the live event, if they're based in the UK. So they're a week apart to give people time, if they come to London, to do other sales calls, or just to do shopping, or do whatever it is that you want to do in London, and then go back a week later. We'll be able to do the virtual from the comfort of your own office. We took surveys from all the people who attended last year, and that was the preferred option by 80% of the people. There will be a package price to attend both, if you want to do both events, or you can just come to the live or just the virtual, and there'll be separate pricing for all of those. And all of that detail will be on our website in the next couple of days. So watch out for that. It will also be posted on LinkedIn. And another little reminder, just to follow New Deal Europe on LinkedIn if you're not already doing it. And
a message for our partners from tourism boards as well, and representative offices. So bear in mind that the event on 4th of April is going to be predominantly focused on the UK and Irish markets. Of course, as Robert said, we're going to invite as many as possible from nearby markets as well. People can come, buyers will probably come also from Europe, some of them covering US, but predominantly will be focused on this huge market of Great Britain and Ireland. And as you know, from virtual event and live event will be the same. You're going to have opportunity to speak with people who directly have meetings, pre-arranged meetings, but very interesting for those who want to promote the destination. We're going to have great opportunities for marketing as well. So you can do presentations of your destination. You can sponsor one of our receptions. For example, we're going to have a wine reception. We're going to have after event party as well, and all sorts of opportunities will be available for you to expose your brand. Bear in mind, the Balkans is becoming extremely popular, and not just the Balkans, the whole region we cover is becoming extremely popular, also with people who are looking to travel long haul before overseas, and now looking something new, something exciting, something great, which our area is in the middle of Europe. So there is a lot of opportunity, and there is a lot stories to be told which are not told yet, and what people are not aware of by now. So all to say, Robert, now is come to our events, see our webinar afterwards as a recording, when we're going to put together also the missing parts, and hope you're going to be working with our partners. We're going to have more webinars in the future and introducing more key partners. We are starting to work with the partners who will help you to get recognized your sustainability factors, like getting recognized marks and everything on your brand, and so on and so on. There's a lot of things to come. Anything to say, Robert, to end?
I think you've covered it all. We just look forward to seeing you all on the 4th of April in the flesh. And maybe before then, at some of the other events that are coming up, maybe at ITB or whatever, but we're really excited to be holding our first event. We think given the format of the day, we think the meetings may be slightly longer at the live event. We've traditionally done 15-minute connection meetings. We bring the two parties to the table. You choose who you meet with. And because of the numbers attending the virtual, we had to keep those to 15 minutes. But because of the nature of the live event, we're hoping to give you slightly longer meetings. So there'll definitely be a benefit in coming to the live event and meeting face-to-face with people. And that's about it. So I'm going to have to dash. I think other people have probably only left 45 minutes, and we've run slightly over, as we typically do. Apologies for that. But thanks very much for attending, and we look forward to seeing you at the live event and at our next webinar in a few weeks' time. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, and see you soon. Bye.